firstly, you're my husband, which is
Yeah.
always good.
Lucky me.
Lucky you. So should we start with Dad's journey?
Yeah.
Because you was obviously very, very close to Dad.
Yep.
So how did you feel when we first heard about Dad's story? Like, what was your kind of knowledge of melanoma?
So with your dad, I'd never heard of melanoma before. Never heard of it. Heard of skin cancer. I never heard of melanoma, all the different types of skin cancer. Took me by surprise that got it cut out, it's all done, job done, got back to life, got back to work, got back to football, and then he weren't there anymore, that was it. It came back again.
How it felt, didn't it? Yeah,
The second time, yeah, we knew by then, we were warned about it could be aggressive and come back and stuff, obviously, we all learnt together. But the second time, right, it was literally out of nowhere, wasn't it? So that's what threw me off about it.
So when obviously we lost Dad to melanoma, obviously literally broke the family apart, but moving forward afterwards, we was always quite skin safe, wasn't we? We were just like,
didn't have a choice,
we need
really.
to be on it, and you always said to me, like, be careful because you are quite mouldy.
Yeah.
And you knew that I obviously loved to sunbed, and I was always, when we go on holiday, you wasn't really the one in the sun, it was always me, wasn't it? I was the one on the sunbed reading the book. And then when I found the first one on my leg, do you remember anything about that at all?
Yeah, a fair bit. I mean, this became a thing over the years with me and you, is that every time something happened, we took very different approaches towards it. And it took us a while to figure out why the other one felt that way. So if you remember, we used to butt heads sometimes where you'd prepare yourself for worst case, because that's how you dealt with it.
At the beginning I did, yeah.
Whereas I couldn't allow myself to go down that route with you. So I'd always be like, I'll be all right. And you go, it won't be all right. But I'd had to, again, because obviously what happened with your dad, our kids grew up with it as well, and all the kids had known was melanoma killed you.
Yeah.
That's all they'd seen.
That's what they're so
with Jeff.
didn't they?
So I took it upon myself to go, actually, it's not the case. You'll be all right until, until you figure out what's going on.
So when the first one obviously came up, how did that make you feel? Like, because obviously I had it removed, and even then, I kind of had a gut feeling because of what the dermatologist said to me. Like, we're looking at probably stage 1 here, and I thought that was really forward to say. But now I thank him for it because he was actually quite honest with me.
Opened your eyes a bit, didn't it?
Opened my eyes because I was a bit naive to it. Obviously, never thought it was going to happen to me even again, even though with Dad. So then after I got my diagnosis, and it was in like kind of the black and white letter going to have the decision, did that sink in for you? Yeah,
it was real then, wasn't it? But it always was, even through the whole thing, it was always a possibility because of your dad and because of what we learnt about it. But when we got the results and it was confirmed, you do kind of go, all right, we're dealing with it now. We're dealing with it now. Not as a whole family, but
did it sink
us.
In for you, that it was the same?
It sunk in beforehand. When we first got it took off, like when it became a process, then I'm like, well, we're in the process now. But I wasn't going to say to you, oh no, babe, I'm gonna go, all right, well, it'll be all right.
You felt you had to be the positive one out?
Try to be anyway, as best as I can be, because we've got 4 kids, so there was always a set of eyes watching us somewhere or listening somehow. So from my point of view, like my family said it to me when you had your first diagnosis, just be there for her. You have your moment. If you need that second, come and have it on your own. But as far as her and the kids see it, you do what you got to do, and that's what I did.
So you had your moments behind you?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah, but none of you needed to see that. And I weren't going to let them.
I think it's important to kind of put that side of emotions to the partner.
Not while you're going through it, I don't think. I get it, because from your point of view, you'd probably want to know how I was feeling, but I don't think it'd benefit you to see me like that when you're trying to process it at the same time. Yeah. So I took that advice from my family and I was like, I'll speak to them, or I'll go and cry in the corner for 5 minutes and then put the dinner on.
You do it well. So yeah, and then obviously the second one happened, didn't it? Like after that. So the second one was a little bit more scary, I think, because I think the first one I genuinely thought like, oh okay, like this is like just out of the blue. It's never going to happen again. And then obviously the second one came in 2021 through lockdown.
Yeah.
Did that hit home anymore, or did it feel like? Do you think
it felt
that's just you've now processed your thoughts? Like this is how life is going to be.
The only thing that made the second one different for me is that then I realised it'd be a lifelong thing.
Really?
You're not going to turn it off. We can't slow down. We can't get complacent. When the second one came back, I was like, yeah, we're in this forever sort of thing.
So it's almost like the first one from a partner's point of view. Then you do feel a bit like, oh, not like what if I'm the same, but like you've had it taken out and like you're okay. But like when the second one came, it was more like, shit, this is more like a long-term thing that Lisa's got to have to do.
Because you got your first one early as well, which made everyone feel better at the time. But then when the second one came back, it does make you go, right, okay.
Yeah.
This it doesn't matter. You've still got to be ready for it. You still got to try your best to get around it and get through it as best you can. But the second one for me was more real because of that. Really? Because it disappeared and right, okay, we're back to it again.
We're back to the emotions again.
Yeah.
How does it feel every time? Because I'm the same as Dawn and I go to the appointments on my own.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
I get it.
Do you get it?
If there's a good game or something, I appreciate it, you know.
What's your football anyway?
No, I get it. But again, my job is to, picking up the pieces is really cheesy to say, but I'm there to listen afterwards. And like, we can be honest, you've just vented and ranted afterwards sometimes. And okay, darling. Yeah. Okay, dear. Don't throw that at me, sweetheart. Because that's kind of what you do. Everyone in life has those moments of frustration, right? It's not just about health. It could be about money, it could be about relationships, it could be about whatever it is. I think everyone's well entitled to vent for a sort of an unrealistic amount of time sometimes. But at the end of it, if you're there, you're there. Oh, that was my job.
Just having someone there, though, isn't it?
That was the way I saw it. I'm going to let you bounce off whatever you need to do.
I think you've been definitely my person who I've vented to the most, in the sense of where all my emotions have come out.
Probably, yeah.
That's it's having that someone that, all right, you know, like you can just like vent to, and there's no judgment, there's no, oh, you're going to be okay, that type of patronising, like it's been taken out, you're fine. Because
that's hard not to do. It's hard to avoid that feeling of going, everything will be all right. That becomes a repetition thing, because that's all you feel the need to do.
But sometimes you just don't want to hear that.
But exactly.
And that was just be in the moment and let me just process what's happening.
And over time, you do learn. So when you go through it at first and you go, oh, this ain't working, then you go, right, well, go away for 5 minutes, or let's go for a walk.
So you'd say it's not only just a journey for the people that have been diagnosed, but also for the people around you.
That's a massive family journey. Yeah, it's massive.
What to do and not to say and stuff like that.
A lot of my decisions, a lot of my thoughts about everything that we've gone through as a family has been in regards to the kids. Like I keep saying it, and always have done. They're always around.
They watch everything.
They're taking it in, even if they're not there. They get it. They pick up on energy. They pick up on the way we spoke to each other. They pick up on whatever happens. So I was very aware of that from the very first time. Just watching your dad go through it. Yeah, just you got to keep that plateau somewhere along the line. And don't get me wrong, where there were times when I'd get aggravated with you, I'd let them know. Yeah. Mum's being an idiot. Let her be 5 minutes, but let her have a moment for a moment and clean your bedroom. Do us all a favour, guys, because she'll be on me if you've got a messy room. So yeah, stuff like that.
And what about afterwards then? So obviously now you're fully aware of what melanoma is capable of doing, and obviously I've had it twice, we lost Dad to it. What's your, have you changed your outlook on skin, like looking after your skin?
Massively, yeah. Massively. It's kind of like I say, the whole thing's been an educational thing. Sun damage and stuff is massively underestimated. I think that's one of the main problems, is people just don't get it. They just don't get the threat. It's constant. Oh, I don't use sunbeds. Well, you're outside. If you're outside, you're going to get it a little bit. It is what it is, yeah. Like, and your dad being the best example. He used to sit under parasols and stuff, but didn't like using sun cream because it was greasy. So didn't use it. And it's the same thing. If you don't look after yourself, then it's going to get you. Obviously, it's not going to get you, because there are positives to it as well, but you're putting yourself out there. There's a bit more of a risk.
And you think you've become more?
Oh yeah, massively, yeah. Well, I use sun cream now. Before Jeff, I didn't.
Yeah.
I'll openly say I never.
Do you think men are like that though? Do you think there's a stigma attached to men wearing sun cream?
There's a massive difference. Like playing football most of my life, even the suggestion of sticking a bit of sun cream. Oh, shut up! What are you doing putting sun cream?
Really?
Like it happens. It's one of those things. It's more to. Well, I think men are like that in general. When was the last time I went to the doctors for something?
Yeah.
I'll do whatever I can to avoid it. I don't know what it is, but I just kind of I'll be alright until you're not.
Tristan, you just said that we all feel an element of guilt after diagnosis. Could I have avoided this? Do you mean as in?
We feel like there's that. What could I have done to avoid this and the rest of it?
Yeah.
Did you feel any element of anger towards her, even irrationally?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Assume people are going to blame.
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you mean. So there was a lot of anger around at the time anyway, because one of us is going through it, and again, we're going back to when Jeff went through it. There was a lot of irrational anger because, and bearing in mind, we were learning through your dad at the time as a family. You, me, the kids, everyone. But then when you got it, I think the anger came from the fact, why us? Why is it happening to us? Yes, we know about you use sunbeds and everyone could be a little bit more switched on with their sun care and stuff like that, but you do get to the stage where we go, well, why us? We've got kids.
But did you ever feel any resentment towards me for using them? Like, do you think that I could have done, like, do you get what I mean? Like anything?
If you'd have, so I'll give you a good example. If, when your dad passed away, or when your dad got melanoma, if you'd have used sunbeds, I'd have bounced you off the roof. Yeah, like, you know, I'd have been fuming. But you did, as soon as Jeff was diagnosed, you literally did everything you could to police yourself with that and the risk and keeping the risk down and stuff like that. So I don't feel I was a bit angry towards you, because from what I saw anyway, I don't know if you went off for a sneaky sunbed or anything, I don't know about that, but you know, you might have done, I don't know, but from what I saw, there was nothing to be angry about. I think my anger came from the fact that it was happening to us.
Again. And
we were going through it again. I was very, very aware from day one that our whole family was only aware of the negative outcome of melanoma because of your dad. That was right at the forefront of my mind the whole way through it.
So you wanted to change that?
I just wanted that. That's why the whole positive thing will always be there. And I think that's a big, important message to push as well. I think like days like today are amazing because it can be all right.
It will be all right.
It can be all right, exactly. It's not, you know, it's important to drive the message home, but it's also important to go, you're all right, you're still here.
We're still here, yeah.
You're still nagging me about household chores. Great. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what's always been my thought process. And when people kind of get to the stage where they feel like, I'm at a dead end here, well,
it's
really
right. Hard because when you first get diagnosed, and so Tristan as well, we were saying he's not quite there yet, but that's how, I mean, if you remember after I was diagnosed the first time, my tunnel vision was, that was it, I'm fucked, I'm going.
Which is where we used to argue quite a bit.
And we used to argue about that quite a lot because you wanted to put the positive on it, but I was also saying to you, just allow me to go through the process of it processing in my mind that I'm not going to die, that I am going to be here for a long time.
And it took me a while to understand that.
Yeah, so that's but how do you think we did that communication? We spoke about it, yeah. You
got to butt heads a little bit, you got to avoid it, because at first I avoided things a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I was really uncomfortable with what to say and how to say it.
Talking about it.
My sense of humour gets me into big holes sometimes, it is what it is, but
also your sense of humour has bubbled out a lot of holes. So in really shit situations, we have laughed. Where some people, I think anyone would agree that a bit of humour into it just makes it
you have
a little bit lighter.
You have to. But we figured it out eventually. I was paranoid for a long time because it is a very sensitive subject. It is a very sensitive subject, especially with your closest people, wives, husbands, kids, whatever it might be. So I was very aware that there'd be times when I want to say something to you and I'd be like, just, can I?
Yeah.
How's she going to take that? She's just been through that, and then
because it was so sensitive.
Yeah, but then as time goes on, you kind of you find your feet and go, actually, she'll be right with that, or actually, don't say that this time, Dean. Wait 5 minutes. Exactly. Yeah, definitely.
Perfect. Done. You can get up.
Cool. Can I get up now?
Well done.
Thanks, mate.